Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Fourie. I'm an employment relations practitioner and I'm also the director of employment relations. I make weekly videos about the topic of employment relations, so if you find that this video is helpful, please remember to like and subscribe because that helps me to continue to make videos. I have provided a list of my credentials in the description below just to offer you some peace of mind around taking employment relations advice from me. But you can also check out Employment Relations website, the link is down below. To our topic for today. You missed a CCMA case? What now? Today I'm going to be discussing all of the ins and outs of a rescission application, exactly what it is, when to use it, and a step-by-step process to complete the rescission application yourself, so stay tuned for that. First, we need to set the scene. When are you going to use a rescission application? So this process differs slightly for employers and employees. I'm going to start with employees. So any employers watching, you can just skip ahead a little bit in the video. Right, employees, you have now referred the matter to the CCMA. That means you've completed your 7-11 referral form or you completed the referral online. You've sent that to the CCMA, now you wait for them to send you the set down document. If the case is set down for a conciliation and for whatever reason you miss that conciliation, contact the CCMA and ask them to issue you with a certificate stating that the dispute is unresolved. Within 90 days of the date of that certificate, you can then refer the case for arbitration. If for whatever reason you miss your arbitration date and you receive an arbitration award that the arbitration was done in your absence, that is when you will do a rescission application. Backing it up once more for a different scenario or a different way that can play out, you have referred your case to the CCMA using the 7-11 or the online portal, and your case was set down for what they refer to as a con-arb. That means conciliation and arbitration are scheduled for the same day. If you miss your con-arb, you will most likely receive an arbitration award that the con-arb was done in your absence. And then you will do the rescission application once you've received the arbitration award stating that the arbitration was done in your absence. Now, employers. You have received a 7-11 form or a referral to the CCMA via the online portal. The case has been set down for a conciliation. If you are unable to attend the conciliation or miss the conciliation for whatever reason, it will be done in your absence, but you will just then wait to see if the employee decides to take the matter further by referring it to arbitration. If you get your set down document for the arbitration, or that date comes and goes and you're not aware of it, but you missed the arbitration, that's when you will do your rescission application. Backing it up once more for maybe a different type of scenario. Refers the matter, so you receive a 7-11 document or you receive it via the online portal and the case is set down for a con-arb. That means conciliation arbitration has been scheduled on the same day. If that is done in your absence for whatever reason you are unable to attend that or you don't attend that, and you get the arbitration award stating that the arbitration was done in your absence, that is when you will do the rescission application. Bringing it up for a final time, the employee refers the case to the CCMA and you receive the 7-11 and then you receive the set down document stating that the matter has put down for a con-arb and you know that you are not able to attend on that particular day. Then the best route is to issue an objection, and this is what we call an objection to the con-arb process, and that just means you ask the CCMA to only do conciliation on that day and not to do the arbitration straight after the conciliation. You'll be able to show up on that day, but the arbitration wouldn't have been done in your absence, and you're likely to receive a set down document with the arbitration date on so that you can attend that arbitration. For whatever reason you also missed the arbitration, then you'll receive an award saying that the arbitration was done in your absence, is when you will do the rescission application. Guys, the rescission application will be done when employers or employees receive an arbitration award stating that the arbitration was done in their absence. A quick and easy way to understand what the term rescission application means. The word rescission comes from you want to rescind something, meaning you want the CCMA to cancel or take it back as if it never existed. So basically you are applying to rescind the arbitration award, and therefore it's called the rescission application. You might have noticed time periods are very important when it comes to applications, and the rescission application is no different. The rescission application, according to the CCMA rules, needs to be done within 14 days of you becoming aware of the arbitration. Now, if you have already missed those 14 days and you're watching this video with the intention to do the rescission application, at the end, I will show you how to do the condemnation application. Now I'm going to show you a step-by-step of how to complete the rescission application so that you can do it yourself. All right, step number 1 in the rescission application process is to go to the CCMA's website. I will link this down below, where you can download the rescission application form. There, you just click download. Now, while some consultants might choose to use their own template, I find that the CCMA's one works very well, and I'm going to take you through how to complete the rescission application form that can be found on the CCMA website. We have the document opened up, and I'm going to take you through step by step of how to complete this rescission application form. Right at the top, you're going to see that this is for Gauteng. You will just change this to whichever province you're in, and then you need to complete your case number over here. You'll find your case number on the arbitration award. I'm going to bring that up on the screen so that you can see where to find it on the arbitration award. Or if you do have the set down document, it's also on the set down document. I'll bring that up. In the matter between, you'll see that they use the words applicant and respondent instead of employer or employee or whichever way around. Now, with the initial CCMA case, the employee or the trade union would have been the applicant because they are applying to have their alleged unfair dismissal or anything else that they're alleging to be heard. But with the rescission, it is whoever is applying to have the award rescinded. I'm going to talk through this document as if it's from an employer's side, but employees, if you're watching this video, you'll do just the same. It's just easier for me not to switch between the terminology. Right, so applicant, that will be you, employer. You are applying to have the arbitration award rescinded. Here you will put your company's full citation, trading as, and then whatever your trading as name is. And the respondent's full name, employee's name over here, or the trade union if the other party was a trade union. This paragraph you can just leave in there. And number 1, rescinding the arbitration award rendered by commissioner. And then you need to put in the commissioner's name, which again you will find on the arbitration award. And then on, over here, you put the date that the arbitration award was issued. Just look on the arbitration award for that date. Number 2, the no order as to costs or alternatively costs in this cause. I would recommend no order as to costs because in labor we very seldomly get cost awards. So therefore I would recommend that you delete the alternatively costs in the cause. Alternative relief, you can just leave that one over there. Over here, you're going to put the address where you'd like to receive future documents. If you missed your CCMA case because it was sent to, the documentation was sent to a strange address or the incorrect one, then this is very, very important. So put your email address here as well as your physical address just to be sure. And if you have a fax machine and use that, you can go ahead and put that in over here as well. You can just leave this in. This is just to let the other person know that they must respond within 5 days of receiving this affidavit. Well, technically this part is not an affidavit. This part is just the application. The affidavit is still coming. Further notice that the affidavit of, so you're going to see that the affidavit is the next thing that you complete. So here you put in the name of the person who is completing the affidavit. So if you are the employer, i.e. the director or the sole proprietor, you will put your name here, or a manager or whoever you are that's completing this application, you will put your full name over there. Dated at the place where you're doing it. On this, you put the day, and then the month and the year, and you'll sign it here and put your full address or the business address over here. Now you have completed the first part of the rescission application form. We're moving on to the affidavit that needs to accompany this. So here they refer to the affidavit. You need to complete the affidavit. It's the very important part of this application. I'm going to take you through completing the affidavit that accompanies the rescission application form now. You'll see here that it's referred to as Annexure A. If you have any additional evidence that you're going to add to this document, you will label them as Annexure B, C, D, E, etc. Started. Again, here you're going to enter your case number that you can find on the set down or the arbitration award. In the matter between, again, you are the applicant, you're completing this application, so you're going to put your name here or the full citation of the business over here. And the respondent's name, here it will be the employee for the scenario that we're doing today. I, the undersigned, you will put your full name here. So the applicant is the employer if it's a separate legal entity. So it will be the employer's name or the business's name. And here will be your name as in the real person completing this affidavit. So this is an oath and this is what you're stating. So make sure that what you're putting in here is accurate as far as you can recall. I'm the applicant in this matter and I'm duly authorized to make this affidavit because, and see how well the CCMA document actually explains exactly how to complete this form. But here you will say because and give the reason as to why you are allowed to complete this affidavit. So it'll be because I am the director of the applicant, or because I am the general manager of the applicant, or because I am the HR of the applicant, or something like that, that just says you have permission to complete this affidavit on behalf of the applicant. Number 2, this is where you will be accepting any documentation. And again, very important if you missed the arbitration because you didn't get the documentation and you just want to remove whichever one is not applicable. Respondent is, and again, the same as you did for who you are, you're just going to put here who the respondent is. If it is an alleged unfair dismissal, then you'll be saying a former employee. If the person is still working for you and it's an alleged unfair labor practice, then you will say the respondent is currently an employee of the applicant. So here you will just give a very, very short description. So just former employee or current employee or whichever relationship they have to the business. And their address, here just make sure that you enter the correct address. Check on the 711 if you have that. That's the referral document to the CCMA in the first place, because the respondent would have completed their address on that document, or you can use the address on the arbitration award or the set down document, but maybe just check that they all are the same and that they are correct. Background and facts. So here they want it in chronological order, obviously in as plain language or as clearly as possible, just to persuade the commissioner to grant the application. The ruling made at Con Ob, depending on which one it was, you can leave this as conciliation/arbitration, or you can just change it to arbitration if it wasn't a Con Arb, came to my attention on, and this must be the date when you found out about the arbitration award. I immediately did the following. This is literally what you immediately did. So you can say here, I Googled what to do if I missed a CCMA case, or I contacted my employment relations practitioner to ask for advice, or I contacted the CCMA to ask them what I must do. Anything that you did literally as soon as you found out about the arbitration that you missed. I submit that I was not in willful default of the CCMA because, and here they want to know why you didn't show up for it, and obviously it needs to be a good reason and you need to provide any documentation. So here you will put, because I was not aware of the case, the address that it was sent to is incorrect, and maybe you want to provide any proof as to why that address was incorrect, or show what your correct address is, or any other reason as to why you missed the CCMA. Things that I've done in the past were always because the employer did not receive the documentation, because it was sent to an incorrect email or incorrect physical address, or a fax machine that was no longer working. So I've actually only ever dealt with cases where it was missed for that reason. If there's any other reason, I'm not able to think of one right now, you will just put that in here, and remember to annexure any relevant documentation. And since this is annexure A, the rest of the document will be annexure B, C. Number C, I believe that the commissioner should rescind the ruling or the award because I have a good prospect of success in my claim against the respondent because. And now here you're going to say, so previously all that we spoke about was why you missed the arbitration award and the details of the arbitration award. But here you're going to be talking about the actual facts of the case that would have been heard or was heard on that particular. If you are an employer and the allegation against you was that it was an unfair dismissal, then you want to say here why the dismissal was fair, and it's important that you speak to the procedural fairness and the substantive fairness. For substantive fairness, you will refer to why dismissal was the appropriate sanction in those cases. Of the 3 different reasons why you can dismiss somebody fairly in South Africa, namely speaking about conduct, so this is misconduct, or capacity, poor work performance, or medical incapacity, or any other type of
incapacity, or for operational requirements. Each of those have their own procedural requirements that are found in the Labor Relations Act. So that's where you will just look for that. Here, you just want to be as clear and to the point as possible. Do not write like a 7-page essay about it. Put it in bullet point form if you need to, but just make it very clear and to the point. I believe it is procedurally fair because of. I believe it is substantively fair because of, and then list those points. If you are the employee, then obviously here you will say, I believe it is unfair because of, and then list the points. D. This is just saying that you respectfully submit that the commissioner did issue that award or the ruling incorrectly, and you're entitled to a rescission. And it's referring to Section 144 of the Labor Relations Act here that lists other grounds for a rescission if that's necessary. I'll bring them up on the screen just so you can see what they are. General, this is where you will add anything else that you think is relevant to granting the application in your favor. Again, you can leave this. This just tells the other party that they must respond within 5 days of receiving this affidavit and that you must respond within 3 days. As with all CCMA matters, the documentation must be issued in a certain way, and you must just attach proof to the CCMA that you did in fact send it to the other person via an acceptable method. So that will be registered mail, and then you will put a scanned copy of the proof that they give you at the post office, fax transmission if you used fax, hand delivered, then you want a signature on the hand delivered, or a copy of the email sent. The easiest one that I usually do, of course, only possible if the employee has an email address, email it to the CCMA, and I email it to the respondent or the other party all in just one email, and then I put a read receipt on it. Of course, if they don't have an email, the other one that I usually go for is registered mail. Here you will just sign your normal signature and the Commissioner of Oath will complete this part. That is the end of the rescission application form and the affidavit if you are submitting this within the allotted time of 14 days. If you missed those 14 days, to discuss the application that you will be completing along with the application for rescission as well as your affidavit. If you are completing it within the 14 days, you can just skip ahead a couple of minutes so that you don't have to watch this part, and you can use the time codes for that. Do not complete your rescission application within the 14 days that is allotted to you to complete it. You need to complete a condonation application, and it is actually attached to the rescission application form just in case that you downloaded from the CCMA's website. The beginning is just very standard. The case number will go in here, find that on the arbitration award or the set down document. You're the applicant, so you'll put the full citation of the business here, or if it is a sole proprietorship, you'll put your name there. Respondent is the other party, so you put the employee's name here. Now you're going to fill out the application for condonation. The award or ruling came to my attention on, and this is the same date as you put above there. The degree of lateness. You need to put how many days you are late. I'll bring it up on the screen to show you how to calculate those days in terms of the CCMA rules. You'll see that the first day is excluded and the last day is included, but subject to rule number 2, and that is that if the last day falls on a Saturday, Sunday, or public holiday, or during the period of 16 December to 7 January, then that day is not included. Use that rule to calculate the degree of lateness. The reason for lateness. So of course here you want to have a very good reason as to why you were late. The most common reason that we do see is that somebody was not aware of the 14-day period, or that they were not aware of what they were supposed to do if they missed an arbitration award. Applicants' prospects of success, this will be the same as the above. You'll just provide a short, very to the point explanation as to why you believe that your application will be successful if heard. Any prejudice to the other party, here ideally, unless you can think of something, you will just say that there is no prejudice to them of having the case heard. Any other relevant factors, so this is anything additionally that you want to include. Again, you'll just leave this here where it's telling the other person that they have 5 days to respond to this, and if they do respond, you have 3 days to file a response. Number 8, again, is just saying that documentation must be given to the CCMA with proof that it was sent to the other person via the methods of communication that are acceptable by the CCMA. You will sign here, and the Commissioner of Oath will complete the rest of this application for you. And that is it for the condonation application.
everything you need to know about rescission applications and how to do it yourself. If you think that I missed anything or anything is unclear to you, comment down below and let me know if you've got any further questions about how to do a rescission application. If you found this useful, please remember to like and subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to bring you these videos on a weekly basis.